going, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
What's been the biggest challenge kind of getting the guys back into a groove the last couple of days?
Well, I think they were excited to come back and do football, to be honest with you. I mean, they had 4 or 5 days off during the season, which doesn't happen very often. I think, with them sitting around watching other people play on Saturday, there was a good energy and a good attitude coming back. I think they were excited to start getting ready to try to get their world back to a little bit of normalcy, even though we know that there's so many people that are struggling with more important things than football. We don't want to lose sight of that, but I think our players were excited about just being able to be back and doing something they love to do.
Is there an additional challenge getting them kind of back into shape a little bit, even though it's just 5 days, but also while preparing for an opponent?
Sure. I mean, I think probably the two greatest concerns that I had was, number one, our hydration. When they're in our building, we do a good job of our guys staying hydrated and making sure that they're taking care of their bodies. When they're away from us and we can't control, what they're eating, we can't supply them with meals, we can't make sure that they're drinking all the things that they need, the fluids that they need to be able to play at a high level. That's a concern. So the conditioning aspect, and then just how we took care of our body during the break. We gave them plenty of water when they left, plenty of Gatorades, but it's a matter of making sure that we stay hydrated and then when we take care of our bodies when we're away like that.
How do you feel that the way the defense played is missing?
Oh, we didn't play very well at all. I mean, there was a lot of reasons in a lot of areas, but the bottom line is we didn't live up to our end of the bargain, and for us to be successful at all, we need to play better.
A couple of players mentioned feeling the lack of Malik out there as a leader. How do you address that and fill that gap in these games to come?
Well, I mean, the thing about that, it wasn't a surprise. I mean, we all have known for a very long time that was going to be the case, starting in week 2, and that can't be a reason or an excuse for us not to play up to our level. If somebody's not in, then the next guy has to step up, and as a group, the leadership has to be owned by all the veterans on the team, and that's including the coaches. So, one guy down shouldn't lead to us not playing well, and that can't be a reason why we don't play well this week.
Can you break down where the biggest issues were?
Well, I mean, we gave up too many big plays on the perimeter. We didn't win enough one-on-one situations with their wideouts. Give their wideouts credit; they did a good job. But when it came to the one-on-one balls, we didn't win enough, and we didn't fit the run on at least one occasion well enough, and we gave up a big play. So you can't give up big plays, and you can't allow people to continue to move the sticks on third down. And that's on everybody as a whole, and we need to get better.
Chris Collins and Jake Lawler, I think, combined for about 42 snaps in the ECU game. The value in them getting on the field and seeing stuff on film, have you seen an immediate dividend to them actually having that experience?
No, I think it's going to take time to see the payoff there. I mean, they're going to be better this week than they were last week. I mean, that's at least the goal and the hope. But I don't know that you can expect an immediate dividend. I think now when week 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, as they continue to accumulate and pile reps up, then I think you'll definitely see the difference. But until that point, I don't think you're going to see it immediate.
Is prepping a little bit easier for them now, especially now that they know not just the game speed, but the physicality of the way it is actually on Saturday as opposed to during the week?
That's the one thing you can't simulate during the week is just how fast things really happen. And I think now that they have some game experience, the nerves and some of the anxiety that they had probably going into that probably is a little bit going to be lessened this week.
What stands out to you about Pitt?
Coach Sean Watson, their offense coordinator, I've known for a long time. We were together in Nebraska, and I think he does a great job in a lot of different ways. He's very he does a great job having plays that complement each other. His boots and his nakeds and all the run actions and the jet sweep motion and the shifting of the tight ends. I think he just does a great job putting it all together. They're well coached, they're physical, they're going to want to run the ball. They're averaging about 40 rushes a game. So we know that their plan coming in is going to be to try to run the ball at us, and we got to be able to be physical in the run game and hold up. And if that's how we attack the day, then we have a chance to be successful.
Did you recalibrate anything in this having a longer gap? Or I know the guys weren't around, but this is an unusual period to 2 games in.
I think there, obviously the weather is something you can't control, and the way I looked at it was try to make the best of a frustrating situation. We obviously wanted to play last week. We only get 12 guaranteed opportunities, so you don't want to throw one away. But when we did have the break and a chance to catch our breath, there was a lot of recalibrating in terms of how I approach Pitt. we could probably be a little bit more expansive in our game plan than maybe we would have in a normal game week, because we kind of picked up an extra day of practice on it. And then it also let me step back and really take some time to evaluate where I think we are as a defense and what we need to do going forward.
At 0-2, what was kind of the message in general to the team in this building heading into Pitt?
Well,
big game, obviously.
The message really was pretty simple, and Coach Fedora did a good job of crafting it. And that when we got the kind of the unforeseen break with the hurricane, that we're going to come back, clean the slate. We start ACC play this week, and our goal is to be 1-0. And that's all we can control, and that's all we can really worry about at this point. So we're going to be 1-0 this week, and that's our goal, and that's our only objective.